Hi everyone, this is Nick from TBT, www.airrifletuning.com. Welcome to my video today on the HW97k. 1984, it was a fantastic year. Wham were wanting you to wake you up before they go. Shaka Khan was going for it. The Killing Moon was annoying Echo and the Bunnyman. I was 13 years old, I had a BMX, the summer went on forever and life was great. And then to top it all off, Weihrauch launched the HW97 underlever air rifle. It took the air rifle shooting world by storm. It immediately won all the FT competitions at the time, such as they were silhouette shooting. It was just the first air rifle to properly go out there and say, this is it, this is what we're doing, gonna be awesome. By this point, some of you are probably saying, what's his nutter on about, HW77? He's written 97 on the description for this video. Well, that's because the HW77 and the 97 are essentially the same rifle. In 1984, the 77 came out, then the 77k, then I think it was 1993, the HW97 came out. Now, the only differences between these rifles were that the 97 has a stock with a higher comb on it because it's designed to be used with a scope, whereas the 77 is fitted with open sights. And the 97 has a moderator type thing at the front of it. That is it. Internally, they're the same. The trigger is the same. Everything else is the same. So everything we can say about the 97, we can virtually say the same about the 77. So in 93, the first of the 97s came out. The Mark 1 had a proboscis monkey nose. The silencer overhung the cocking arm underneath it. That's how you can tell it visually. And also it had the same 25mm internals as the 77 had at the time. And up until serial number 144, 400 and something, I can't remember exactly, all the 77s and 97s had a 25mm internal piston, the internal diameter of the compression tube and a 25mm piston. This was perfect for the UK 12 foot-pound limit. And we couldn't get enough of them. Absolutely couldn't get enough of them. It was an overnight success that lasted for many years. So Weihrauch obviously thought, wow, this is amazing. We could sell even more if it was more powerful. So they upped it from 144 500 serial number to a 26mm piston. Only 1mm, I know, but that changed it from a 12 foot-pound air rifle to a 15 foot-pound air rifle. So the Americans go, oh, we'd like one of those too. Unfortunately, that kind of not ruined it, because it's still a fantastic rifle at 26mm, but it made it less perfect for the people in the UK. But we'll come on to that. So this is my HW97. I've had it for several years now. It is, like most of the guns that I absolutely adore, it's wearing a CS custom stock, because these stocks fit me better than the standard stocks. It may not fit you, you may not like thumbhole stocks. This one is a stone laminate CS 800 stock. I believe they only ever made 2 of these. It broke all of their tooling and they vowed never to do it again. But I've got one of them, which is nice. This one has, forgive me struggling, I'm still struggling with the broken collarbone. This one has a Hawk Air Max 2-7x32 scope on it, because that's all I really find I need for my personal use, but I know a lot of people do put big scopes on them for different reasons. And you'll probably notice, possibly notice, maybe notice, that this one is a bit shorter than usual. Because I've been tampering with it. I tamper with most things. I like a short rifle. I can't find a Fenman, so I decided to make my 97 shorter. It's a standard 97k, but what I did was reduce the length by about, I think it's about 2.5 to 3 inches, but I did it without shortening the barrel. Basically, these moderators, it's a false moderator. It's got a void in front of it. Sometimes they put a spring and a bit of sponge in there, but it doesn't do much. So what I did was took that off, machined away the inside of it so that it could slide all the way back, so the barrel actually goes to the end of the moderator, and then shortened the cocking arm underneath to suit. So the cocking effort's a little higher because you've got less leverage, it's a shorter lever, but accuracy remains the same because the barrel hasn't been altered in length and you get an overall shorter package, which I like. So this is not a standard rifle, so it's running a TBT kit in it. I've got to deal with the owner, he lets me have them at a good price. So it isn't standard. After having that work done, it was a canal find when I got it, which is why I decided to do all this work on it, because I wasn't going to ruin the blacking. But then I sent it off to get it blacked anyway, and I had the compression tube blacked as well. So personally, this is kind of one of my favourite rifles. Absolutely lovely. Does everything I want it to and fits me perfectly. But if you're looking at buying an HW97, you'll be probably looking at buying a standard one. And is it the gun for you? It kind of depends on various circumstances, what you want to use it for, certainly your stature, how strong you are and how far you want to carry it. With any underlever rifle, you're going to have more weight out front than a break barrel rifle. You're going to have more weight overall than a break barrel rifle, and your reloading time is going to be slower than with a break barrel rifle. So if you're looking to go hunting with it, walking across fields, through woods, bear in mind you've got to carry quite a lot of weight more all of that time. When you shoulder the gun, you can have more weight out the front. And also, if you need a second shot, it's going to take you not a lot, but it's going to take you more time to get the second shot off than the first. For that reason, personally, I prefer break barrels for hunting, and everything else, well, an underlever. These are fantastically popular in the HFT and FT world. I believe people do Springer bench rifle shooting with them, all kinds of things. So yes, you can use it for hunting. Thousands of people do, and they're absolutely delighted with it. I'm 5'7", not the strongest person in the world, and I've got a duff shoulder at the moment. So I would struggle with the weight and would take something lighter with me if that was what I was doing. Not that I really do that anymore. Shooting the gun, the weight really does have an effect, a good effect, because any weight that you have inside of the rifle will deaden the recoil. The 25mm early guns are preferred by many because they are perfect straight away for 12 foot-pounds. You can just, if you let a piston and the gun, the air rifle, run at the speed it wants to run at, it just runs better. Just let it go for it. It's like if you have a Ferrari, okay, you buy a Ferrari, it's a 200-mile-an-hour car, and you give it to an old lady to pop down littles in. It's not going to be in its sweet spot. It's always going to be lumpy. So the 25mm is just going for it, absolutely wonderful. The 26mm is just as good, as long as you can run it at 15 foot-pounds. If you're in an area where you can run it at 15 foot-pounds, run it full chat, it's just as lovely as the 25mm was, absolutely superb. But to run it at 12 foot-pounds, you're trying to get less power with more air. So it wants to do 15 foot-pounds. The only way to stop it doing 15 foot-pounds is put a weaker spring in. So that increases the lock time, it increases the hold sensitivity, not by an awful lot. And a simple 8mm extension like you find in our Maxi Pro kits reduces the difference in the air and effectively makes it shoot like a 25mm if that's what you want. But again, vast majority of users of 26mm are perfectly happy with it out of the box. And there's no reason why you wouldn't be too. Speaking of out the box, this is something I'm going to mention on all of my Weihrauch videos. They may twang, they may not. That doesn't really matter. Twanging doesn't affect accuracy. Nothing you can do to stop twanging will ever make it more accurate. It'll just make it quieter. But one thing I do believe you should do is, as soon as possible after you've taken the first few shots to make sure everything works, take the rifle apart, strip all the grease out of it, which is there predominantly to protect it from rusting on the shelf in the shop, and then replace it with a good quality molybdenum grease. Now I forgot to say that in the other one. People are saying, what should I use? I will be doing a video on how to lubricate a Springer with generic products, but a molybdenum grease, the black stuff, CV grease, the higher molybdenum content, the better. That's what you should be using. Small amounts of that, put it back together, it'll shoot nicer immediately, and maybe quieter as well, but the main thing is it'll be protecting it in use for the future, so it doesn't wear out, doesn't scratch the piston, do any damage inside of the gun. The triggers on these are the record unit. They're a fantastic unit. I will do a video on how to adjust. I don't tune triggers, I send them off to my guy Andy Blackmax. If I want a trigger done, he does it for me, and he's done this one. But if you just want to adjust a trigger, I'll show you the 2 adjustments on there, how to adjust them, how to get that right in another video. They'll be coming soon. We've been going for over 10 years now. A lot of the videos on the website and on our YouTube channel are very old. Please like and subscribe as well, by the way. We need people to subscribe. I've mentioned this on all of them at the moment because my daughter keeps telling me to. We need the algorithms. Please subscribe and hit notifications, little bell, so when a new video comes out, which they will be for quite a while now, you will get to know straight away. So the trigger is fantastic. The accuracy on these is fantastic. And if you've got the right frame, the balance is fantastic. Now, the big one. What else should you consider? Everybody knows it's the TX200. You just do. It's the TX200. It's fabulous. It's British built, made by Air Arms. It has the same problem, if you want to call it that, the same history, similar history to the HW77 and 97, in that it started out with a stroke that was perfect for the UK in 12 foot-pounds, and they went, woohoo, we can sell these to Americans, then bumped it up to a 99mm stroke, 16 foot-pound air rifle. You have the same issue with it being a lazy shot cycle. So it has the same questions and answers there. If you like it, not a problem. If you find it hold sensitive, you can short stroke it. We do a short stroke for it. There are lots of people that do parts for that rifle. You're not lacking in choice there. The TX200 and the Pro Sport, because again the Pro Sports have similar internals, it's basically the same inside, just a prettier frock on it. They come with bearings fitted to them, and people say, oh, it's tuned out of the box, but that doesn't stop the TX being the gun that we sell the most kits for. Okay, so yes, it's tuned out of the box because it's got bearings on the piston, but unfortunately it's also got metal weights inside of the piston, so that doesn't help. So you will still need really to strip it down, clean it, put it back together, maybe do some other bits and pieces to reduce the recoil on it, as you would with this one. But the TX200 is considerably more expensive than an HW97 by a long way. It's not, it's 50 quid more. It's a lot more expensive. And if you were to get one of each out of the box and fire them, you would undoubtedly say the TX200 is better. But spend 50 quid on your HW97 and half an hour, all of a sudden that's shooting as well as that box standard TX200. Spend 70 quid on a Maxi Pro kit for one of these and it shoots better than a box standard TX200. But you can work on the TX as well to improve that. But what my point is, for the cost of a 97 plus 70 quid, you can have it shooting better than the more expensive, even with all that, TX200. A lot of it comes down to fit. I find the TX200 stock as standard fits me better, but I don't like the little anti-bear trap thing that it has that you have to release to put the, to put the cocking arm back up. I find I need 3 hands and to swap hands to load it, because the loading port is on the wrong side, and the way I cock a rifle with that arm, it just doesn't work. What I would ideally need is a left-handed action in a right-handed stock, which I know a couple of people have made for themselves or got the pieces for, but I just got a 97 because it was easier. And really, that is all I have to say on this. If you want an underlever quality rifle, then look for an HW97, or if you want one with open sights, an HW77. Don't be afraid to buy a used one. These are fantastically made. There's very little people can actually do to harm them on the internals. Some try, But you know, it would take effort to do something that can't be brought back to one of these. So don't be afraid to look at used ones. And that's it really. When you get it, take it apart and clean. I mean, taking it apart and cleaning it, people are saying about, oh, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. You should learn to do it. Watch the videos on how to do it. Every time you take taps, you go out and it starts raining, then you really need to take it apart, give it a good clean and put it back together again. Otherwise water will have got inside. But anyway, that's another matter. Maintenance on your rifles is essential. This is a fantastic rifle. And whichever one you get, the 77 or the 97, it will give you a lifetime of service, and you will enjoy it and you will enjoy shooting it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. There will be more along soon, and I'll speak to you then. Thank you, goodbye.